What is going on, everybody? My name is Conor Lawler. Welcome back to another week of Weird News Wednesdays. This is the Heroes for Hire podcast. We are back again talking all the strangest news stories from around the world. We talk about the news that the real news is just too afraid to talk about. As always, I am joined by my partner and my best pal, Mr. Shaun. Shaun, how's it going?
I'm good, Conor. Sorry, I'm a bit distracted. I'm looking at TikTok on my phone here because we have a video that's popping off right now.
This is the worst start to any episode of all time.
What if I was like that as a person, though?
Imagine if that's what we actually did. But, I'm mad about popping off. You know I love popping off, but I don't know what it means.
All about a pop-off every now and again.
The kids seem to like it. This is weird news, Shaun. What do we do here? To people, this might be their first episode who now think you're a bastard.
No, I'm a lovely, lovely man in all regards. Hey now, you have spent the week gathering all of the weirdest news stories from around the world. I have spent the week being a lovely person to everyone I meet. Been too busy to look at any weird news. Doing TikTok
doing dances and licking ice cream and putting it back in the drawer in a shop.
Is that what they do?
Remember that was a thing during the first lockdown?
Licking ice. I've seen people uncork a mouthwash and rinse the mouthwash back in.
No, there was the people that were going around and open like a tub of vanilla.
I'm with you.
And then put it back. I think you started that. I'm trying to start that rumour.
No, what I did was I took the HB block of ice cream and I just spat on the whole thing, is what I did. That's not a universal, like the HB block of ice cream. You said Ben & Jerry's are nothing, bitch, and then spat. Well, just in Ireland, there's a type of ice cream you can get, and it's a foot long, and it comes in a cardboard container, and it's just a slab of fucking vanilla. And
I tell you something, it's the best ice cream you'll ever have, Shaun. It's absolutely
gorgeous.
That in
between two wafers, you cannot top that on a hot day, folks.
Don't try and spice it up, is what I'm saying. Big block of fucking vanilla, fuck off white ice cream. There you go. Have it whatever way you want.
Did you hear? No one cares about this other than me. But did you hear they're getting rid of the chalk ice?
No.
They're discontinuing the chalk ice in Ireland. And I'm like, what the fuck?
The chalk ice is definitely not universal. If you don't know what a chalk ice is...
the plainest ice cream wrapped in the plainest chocolate.
I tell you something, you know what it is? It's a solid 7 out of 10. If you're interested in an ice cream, but you don't want to spend the extra money on a Magnum, you get a chalk ice. It's got a bit of chocolate, it's got a bit of ice.
€1 down in the shop. It'll be grand. It will cool you down on a hot day. They're getting rid of that because everyone now is buying the fucking Ben & Jerry's and the Magnums and all the rest
of the shit. Where did the world go wrong?
We lost a run of ourselves. We got notions as a nation.
This is also, I should say, we are not going to talk about the submarine thing that's going on currently.
I had a bunch of submarine material ready to go.
No. We can't talk about it until there's a resolution.
Well, fair. Yeah, because famously nothing bad ever really happens on Weird News.
What I didn't want is us to start a Weird News with that very strong story and then maybe a few days from now have a few funerals and then we look like bastards. So what you want instead to see what happens.
I would say Twitter is taking the brunt of being the bastards at this point. Where everyone over there is just letting loose. And I think it's kind of funny, but we're not going to talk about it.
So I wanted to make that clear off the top. If this is your first episode of Weird News, as Shaun explained, this is a place for, I can only assume, ice cream talk. It's a safe space where we just basically talk shite. If you're interested in more structured episodes, we do have movie monthlies, and we've Hero Zero, which is our other two shows about comic books and movies and stuff, if you're a bit of a nerd. But Shaun, there's only one place
everyone while you're at.
I'm on the show. Like I hosted.
It's like I'm part of this.
I'm part of the problem. So, Shaun, we got to start off this week, which, I mean, never have I seen a headline more perfectly suited to story one on Weird News Wednesday. And that is, man chasing chicken stumbled upon ancient underground city once home to 20,000 people.
Is this man Mr. Magoo? What the fuck?
There's so much going on.
A lot happened. He was chasing a chicken, found It's like the shittest National Treasure you've ever seen.
Oh, what do you mean shit? I mean, I thought National Treasure was the shittest National Treasure.
Hey now, do I need to get into this again? Okay.
Everyone doesn't know Shaun loves the movies National Treasure, which are universally known as bad movies. So anyway,
I like the movies. I will say the TV series not very good. So
you know what? I never seen that, but didn't they bring back Riley?
They brought Justin Bantha. They brought back Justin Bantha playing the role of Riley Poole.
That didn't save it.
Weirdly enough, it didn't save a 10-episode season. No,
he didn't have the star power.
They weren't bringing back Nicolas Cage, let's be honest.
No, let's not bring back Nick Cage. Let's bring back Riley. A man who's looking to find his chickens accidentally stumbled across an ancient city that was once home to 20,000 people, Shaun. Now look, there's a lot to unpack here, but for a second, try to understand what it must have been like for this guy in Turkey that actually this happened to him last week, which is a lot to take in one exact moment. I feel like it would be tough to process what you're seeing.
Very few humans these days have discovered anything. Do you know, like they've never found something that's never been found before.
Yeah. The man kept noticing that his chickens were going missing, Shaun. So that's step one.
Yeah.
So he goes, one day, I'm going to start searching for them. They must be somewhere if they're not here. Maybe an ancient underground city nobody's ever found. It probably wasn't his first step, but maybe it came along. Maybe it was like step 4 or 5. I don't know when exactly you get there.
On the brain chart, it was somewhere on there, yeah.
There was a rain string somewhere, but it was on a different board. I went to a different school.
As in, surely this wouldn't happen.
So he did his search for them, found him looking into the basement. But instead of his chickens, he found the ancient city of Elengubu, which had previously been lost.
Wait, so the basement of what? Of his house?
I think his house?
And he found an ancient city under his house.
Yes.
How long has he lived in this house? Because that's my main question now at this point.
The chickens, it turned out, were going through a hole in the wall at the bottom of the man's house. So he set about knocking it down, discovering a tunnel on the other side, which took him through to another end where a remarkable historical find waited for him.
This is... So it's like a National Treasure 2 Book of Secrets where there was a lost city of gold hidden inside of Mount Rushmore. But it's this man's house instead of Mount Rushmore.
Okay. I'm gonna have to maybe make an addition to the story here. Keep that going. This did not happen this week. But it's a story that is only being unveiled this week. That nobody knew how this city was found until this point.
Right. So it'd be like if someone discovered, Atlantis, and then, there was another news report published. 15 years ago, this dude found it because
if you want to
his
know
dog
how he
ran
found
away.
So, they don't even know what exactly happened to the chickens, but I assume probably not great if they left into the ancient city. I wouldn't think there'd be a lot of food there. So nowadays the city, it sits around 200 feet beneath the ground of Cappadocia in Turkey, I think.
I think I'm not even doing a bit, I think my grandparents have been there.
To Cappadocia?
Yeah, they went to Turkey for a holiday and everyone was like, oh, that's a
believed to be the largest underground city that has ever been excavated and could have been home to as many as 20,000 people on the 2 levels.
Dude, underground cities fuck with me as well.
Yeah.
Just as a concept. Imagine just living under a mountain. That's wild.
There's public areas, homes, schools, a church, and just about everything you need for your underground city. They've also found, apparently, since it has been found, 200 smaller cities around that area, although they're still excavating to this day to try and find more.
There could be an infinite web of cities underneath Turkey that we just don't know about.
But what was the deal with living underground?
Because it's so hot, I assume, that it's easier to stay out of the sun and it's cold and moist and damp underground. Similar to in Dune, the sand people, the Fremen of Arrakis.
The fictional world of Dune. Yes, I'm with you.
They would live in sieges.
So the city seems to date back to between the 15th century and the 7th century, according to the experts.
That's like some of the earliest ones, though.
They said, despite the disagreement on the architects of the town, there is a general consensus that the underground metropolis served to hide its inhabitants from their enemies as well.
That's fucking cool, though.
They lived underground to hide.
It's like, I keep referencing other media, but I just think it's really cool. Do you know in Game of Thrones, Dorne, which is like the desert east place in the south, was never conquered because everyone would just hide when the dragons would arrive.
Yeah.
Because they had all these underground tunnels and cities and safe holes and everything. And this man found it because his chickens went to wander in one day.
I mean, it's mad that there's places like this, but also I really want to get into the head of the farmer who discovered it, because who's the first person you call?
I'm like, I think first, like, weirdly, I think the first thing you do is you secure the chickens. Because that's your main
he's
goal.
Looking at the to-do list and he's just like, call the authorities, secure my 4 chickens. Well, actually, I do need those chickens.
You went in there with one mission, which was, I need to see where my chickens are going. So,
also, in our heads, this is a perfectly still perfect city that's not touched and has like 50 feet. There's definitely 1,000 piles of dirt on top of this now at this stage.
100%. 100% this is like a ruin of a city at the minute. But let's just imagine it's like shining, shimmering gold it's all made out
I'm
of.
imagining Atlantis, but it's underground instead of underwater. Yes, go on.
Yeah. So I think gather all the chickens, bring them up, have a sleep, then go back for a look the next day is what I would do.
Be like, was I on drugs?
Yeah, let's just make sure.
Let's just get the chickens first. I love the idea he has tunnel vision towards the chickens. Like, he doesn't even look around them. He's just like, I just need to get the chickens.
It's like, my main task is get the chickens. Anything else, I'll deal with later.
And the only reason it came out because he was like talking to his friend John the next day, and he's like, I was trying to get the chickens, but there was a piece of like gold or something in the tunnel. It was fucking weird. It was like carved or something. I don't know. I didn't really pay much attention. I was trying to get the chickens. Anyway, sure, look, I'll talk to you later. And John's what?
What if they did like a Red Dwarf on this, where because this man took the chickens out of the ancient city, like, had he not done that, there could have been a super evolved race of chickens that developed over like the course of 10,000 years, and this man stopped that happening. Do you think that's possible at all?
Alternatively, I think the chickens probably would have just died.
I don't know. I think they would have been laying eggs, surely. They would have made more chickens.
What came first, I suppose, in terms of the historical city is the question,
really.
Yeah. What do they eat? Can a chicken eat an egg? That's
a chicken will eat meat. I've known farmers that would feed a chicken the chicken carcass of a Sunday roast. Which I don't think is cool, but like, they'll do it.
I think there's an episode of The Last of Us that
Maybe.
You're thinking of most horror movies. I'm considering maybe it's going to be like those people that got stranded in the Andes in the plane crash.
Oh, in the film Alive, yes.
Yeah, I think chickens would start eating each other, and then you would have one dominant chicken who'd eaten all of their friends.
I don't think that happened. I don't think there was a fucking alpha.
No, I think
that rugby team.
Is that how that movie ended? No, one of them was 9 foot tall. Wasn't he?
He was a god amongst men. He had a trident by the end.
He came back and he played in the NBA for a few years.
No, I think it was a harrowing story about the indomitable human spirit, Conor.
Yeah.
You take from it what you will.
I picked up some nuances that nobody else seen, but I picked up
the nuances of this other character who's 9 feet tall and willingly eats all of his friends.
Everyone was talking about the human spirit. I was like, what fucking spirit, man? He'd eat the spirit too. He'd eat everything about them. Look at our bronze god.
Did you hear the concept of this film and then make up the plot?
Oh, sorry, I'm thinking of the Power Rangers episode when that monster grew really big. Sorry. No, I actually haven't seen that movie.
They're very similar.
Yeah, I haven't seen that movie. Sorry about that.
Sorry, in school we were shown the documentary about that plane crash. We were shown it 4 separate times. We were shown it over 4 years, so probably like fucking 13 to 17. I saw that once adamant, a year.
Do not get in a plane over the Andes.
This could happen easily.
Or the movie we watched on a loop every year and multiple times a year. Most times, like if you had a PE class where, say, it was raining, which in Ireland, Shaun,
most PE classes you would say.
Most times. So we would then watch a movie. Because what's healthier than watching a movie instead of doing some exercise? We had a gym, but there was no need.
Exercise in the brain, Connor.
I've seen Remember the Titans at least 35 times.
Dude, Remember the Titans. So we had watched Remember the Titans enough times, and it had been raining so much that one time my PE teacher brought in bench warmers. It's like, it's kind of about... And then the next week we watched Dodgeball, and it was just like, anything tenuously sport-related can be played at this point.
Well, I think Remember the Titans is one of the best movies ever, and I've seen that so many times, and I'm like, yes, this is great.
Remember the Titans is fantastic. I also watched Moneyball for the first time.
Did you watch it in school?
In PE, yeah. I watched Moneyball.
God, your teacher was amazing.
He was a real film buff, actually, now that I think about it.
Now that you think about it. He loved the Andes. He loved it. No, we watched it as our history class. We watched Forrest Gump. Because he goes to Vietnam for 20 minutes of that movie.
That is a fucking leap, isn't it?
That is the truth. Our history teacher gave up about halfway through the year. And then just was like, what movie do I know that has... Because we were learning about Vietnam. And he was like... Apocalypse Now?
Apocalypse Now. No.
We're not doing Apocalypse Now. That's ridiculous. We're going to do the movie about the chocolate. And that's what the boys will get interested in.
And look, they weren't wrong, to be fair.
No, I know everything about Vietnam now.
To be fair, and I don't mean to slag my teacher off, I think my history teacher showed us Tropic Thunder at one point as an example of war. I'm not sure. Now look, that could be a false memory I fabricated.
I don't think he got the concept of Tropic Thunder.
He just saw the poster and was just like, oh yeah, war movie, cool.
Robert Downey Jr.'s in this, he's pretty good.
The amount of fucking shite we watched in school is unreal.
Oh man, amazing. When they wheel in that big TV, you're having a good day.
So good. Good. Yeah. My primary school, I've said this before, but had Space Jam, and it was Space Jam and the How to Cross the Road Safely video. Those are the only two videos in my primary school. I've seen Space Jam 19 times.
But still good?
Holds up. It does hold up.
What about the road crossing video?
Well, look, I'll tell you this much. I was hit by a car, so...
You were in that class, you were like, when are we getting the Space Jam?
When does Bugs Bunny show up in this piece of shit?
This is a fucking stupid movie. Where's Bugs Bunny? Michael Jordan.
I'm cheering that as the Volvo sideswipes me.
You're like start limping in the next few weeks with your crutches.
It's very quietly. Michael Jordan.
We're going to have to move on to our next piece of news. And I have... This is one of those stories that involves shithousery, and we love shithousery here.
It's one of the patron saints of the podcast, is shithousery in general.
Can you describe what shithousery is to maybe people who don't know what shithousery is?
It's mischief where no one really gets hurt, where it's just you're causing trouble, but it's kind of funny, and everyone can admit it is
our greatest example
funny.
Of this is the lad that
Benny
was
Hill.
played. Yeah, the guy who was running away from the police, but before he was running away, he played the Benny Hill theme song as he was running around in a big circle around their car.
Wasn't it an icy car park as well?
It was at Christmas, so it kept slipping. And so it was
And that, if you could distill shit house straight, there's no need for it. It doesn't help anyone, but it's just funny divilment.
Well, I have man parks van on roof of apartment block to avoid parking fines.
How? It's an obvious question. How did he get the van on the roof of the apartment block?
It's a good follow-up question. A man has taken an extreme measure after being fined for parking in the street outside his own flat. Parking is an absolute nightmare at the best of times, Shaun. This is
Don't I know it? I don't drive.
Do you find parking a hassle? Me? Yes. So, look, in city centres, space at a premium, Shaun. It's at a premium.
Absolutely.
Look, it's all very well if you're lucky enough to have a parking space assigned to you, to your flat, though even that can cause trouble. But if you don't have an assigned space, you can sometimes have to get a bit creative in finding somewhere to leave your car when you get home. One man in Taiwan has taken some pretty extreme measures after repeatedly being fined for parking his van in front of his apartment building. After the fines kept coming, the exasperated individual thought up a creative solution to parking on the street. Instead, he managed to get the cars up onto the roof of his apartment building, one being positioned on a higher part of the roof, while the other on the edge of a little section of the van jutting out over the side of the roof.
That just raises further questions in my... How did he get two vans onto the roof? And there's clearly not even space for two vans on the roof.
Understandably, Shaun, the neighbours were concerned. Understandably.
Yeah. There's a car on the roof.
But the man seemed incredibly chill about the whole thing. He told the newspaper, it's not going to affect the building. Don't make a fuss. He reassured people who raise concerns.
Fucking don't worry about it, lad. It'll be grand.
Hush now, little babies.
Look, it's up there. You're not taking it down.
Yeah.
So
he reassured people who raise concerns, telling them that the building, it's made of steel and concrete, so it would easily support the weight of the two vans on the roof.
I mean, look, I don't know enough about apartment construction in Taiwan, but surely they're designed to withstand very specific stresses, such as the earth moving and stuff like that.
Do you think there was anyone in the group, like I'm imagining he gathers them all in a big half semicircle and then just says, don't worry, it's made of concrete and steel, and there had to have been at least one or two that was like, alright, that's cool, yeah, that's actually, you know what, that's a very good point well made.
Fair point. Those are two very strong materials, sir. I appreciate
now,
that.
Now, off I go back to make some dinner.
There is a... I'll go full nerd for a second. There's an anime I watched, and it's all about gambling. And it's about like how you like rig a gambling game. And this one dude... There was a casino on one side of the building and empty apartment blocks on the other. So he rented every apartment block and like got just gallons and gallons of water in drums and weighed it down so that the roulette table would spin a certain way. On one side of the building there was all this water and the other side was a casino. So he weighed the building. And I wonder, is this man pulling a similar gimmick is all I'm thinking.
That's where your brain went.
Immediately. Almost immediately that happened.
This is why you're the greatest detective we've ever had.
I think outside the box.
And like your partner's just like, he always thinks it's the water barrel thing.
My partner is like 25 but he looks 67 because he smokes so much because he's so stressed.
It's like, Captain, he's bringing up the fucking barrels again.
He has a little like a clicker in his hand to tot up the amount of times, and it resets from 9999 to 0.
This guy was murdered in the store. What if there was a water barrel though next door? What if that happened?
I radio in. It's like, check the other side of the building for water, please.
So, Shaun, the man did not comply with their, I suppose, complaints, and he agreed to take, and he agreed to not to take the vehicles down for a long time. He was saying, technically, he's not breaking any rules. I mean, you didn't technically tell me I couldn't park on the roof.
Show me the law that says a dog can't play basketball.
Exactly. In the end, though, the man finally had to comply and agreed to take the vehicles down, but he still insisted that he hadn't broken any rules. The main question, though, is how on earth he managed to get the two vans up there in the first place.
Because it's okay. But I assume you're going to explain it. I assume this story has an explanation of how those vans got up there.
Yeah.
But
in my
head,
I was just going to say it's water. It's barrels full of water, and he did so many of them. It was lopsided that they brought the roof down.
Yeah, like he lowered it down low enough that he could just kind of drive.
And he could just drive up like a ramp. Yeah.
And then he took the water barrels out. The apartment went back.
He actually had a string attached to like two of them, and he just like pulled it, and they fell over, and so the water just went the other way, and then it balanced back out.
I think it's not the most likely. It's air lifted in from the sky. Is that weirder?
Kind of. It's a crane. He hired a crane to put the cars on the fucking roof, which begs the question: how was he going to get them back down? He probably couldn't. It's just pure shithousery to put them up there, so you can't be fined.
Yeah. Also, I feel this man, if he has the money to rent a crane and lift two cars up there, he has the money to pay the fines. It's the principle of the thing.
Oh, it's just mostly, well, fuck you then. I'll show you what I can do.
Yeah, try and tell me that I can't park my car here.
Go on, try it. You can't. They're up there.
Like, and if it's a private apartment, presumably the ticket wardens can't get in to give him a ticket. So, it's kind of...
Unless they get a crane.
But you can't... No, because he's craning into his own property, technically. But they would be craning into a private property, which I don't think is allowed by ticket wardens, who... Are they the law? Or are they just... They have certain responsibilities that they do?
Or are they just bastards?
They could... I mean, everyone I've ever met has been... Again, I don't drive, but... I also don't respect authority.
Yeah, well, look, that's I understand that as well. But Shaun, we're going to have to move on to our next piece of news because
has anything happened to this man in Taiwan? Is he just? It's just this is the situation as it is.
No, so they asked him to take him down. He had put them up there for the shithousery, and then he had to bring them back down eventually because they put enough pressure onto him. So the cars are back down, he's back being fined, but the cars were up there for 2 weeks, and he would not budge.
Yeah. I mean, I think that man made the right call, honestly. Don't let him tell you what to do.
So we're moving on to our next piece of news, Shaun, and this is something that you've probably seen, but I have recently this week, researchers, and when I say researchers I mean very loosely, they came up with a model that shows what remote workers will look like by 2100, Shaun. I really wanted to I wanted you to look at this image again.
Why are you poking the bear like this?
Because I think it's funny. So if anyone hasn't seen it, so they did this research to be like, right, we're all work from home, and they wanted to have a model, an AI model that would show exactly what would happen where remote work is mandatory for millions of workers, what you will look like in 80 years when, remote work is everybody is working from home. And Shaun, the images are horrifying, gruesome.
They are just monstrous, I would say.
Inhumane.
And it's all, look, I get on this fucking wagon a lot, but it's all spin and they're trying to control how you think.
But not like in the lizard people kind of version. More just in it.
It's fucking easier for them if you're in the office and they can monitor you the whole time. But you're in it's the same desk that you're sitting at. Yeah. It's the same issue. It's the same problem because they have you as this laptop. Weird hunchback purple monster with like little T-Rex arms going on. And
why are they all, their skin is so horrifying for some reason. But like if you're in an office, it would still also like you're still not out in the sun.
It would arguably be worse because you couldn't easily like relax or go outside or take some time for yourself. You You'd be under weird green fluorescent lights the whole time.
So apparently it found that a third of people who work from home in the UK don't have a dedicated workspace, which could lead to problems later on down the line. This Anna is the creation they came up with, and Anna displays many physical effects because of consistent use of technology, screen exposure and poor posture. Technically all three things would still happen regardless of where you were, but let's not get into that.
Technically, if you're working from home, your HR should do a desk space evaluation to make sure that you have the things that make you sit right. Just for what that's worth there.
To visualise the effects of not having a proper place to work at home, Furniture at Work, that's the name of the company who did the research on. Sorry, I'm just going to reiterate the company that did the research.
A furniture company, you say?
Furniture, but they only do furniture for workplaces, say an office.
Right. Okay, so they might have a vested interest in getting people into the office.
It might impact them negatively if everyone was not in an office due to them creating furniture for offices.
And they performed this study, is what you're saying.
They did, yeah.
Right, okay. Okay, no further questions, Your Honour.
So Anna, their AI, has earned herself a hunched back from working from her bed, while her eyes are red and sore from staring at a screen all day.
Sorry. No fucker that I know that works from home permanently actively works from their bed the whole day.
Because no, you're not doing insane. It the whole day. No.
Like, you may check emails in the morning. That's fine. But you get up and you fucking sit down and you do the same shit you do in an office, but you're at home and you don't have to commute an hour each way.
Well, here you go, Shaun. She's also put on weight. She has a weak immune system due to insufficient fresh air and exercise. Experts are urging those who work from home to implement some measures to keep themselves healthy and avoid turning out like Anna.
What is this? Like,
poor Anna.
They've concocted these studies that they themselves can refer to say, here's why our chairs are necessary.
Yeah. Remote workers should take regular breaks to stretch and move their bodies to help avoid back and neck pain. Here is my point back to that. If you were in the office, how often do you take regular breaks? Not often, because they say you only get a break at a certain time, and if you get up, you're not allowed to go anywhere.
100%. Like, you're. It's easier to take breaks. Not that you're like doing nothing at home, I must say, for legal reasons, but
the work is done, Shaun, right?
All the work gets done. It's easier to take a break, like a 2-minute break, just to like stand up and clear your head at home, not in the office where everyone's going to be looking at you and fucking judging you. Like, what is this?
Shaun, I just really wanted to bring this up to you to annoy you, mostly.
I know fully well, and it's worked, which is the worst thing.
But I think they have a point. I think everyone should be working in the office, even if you can do it from home.
Genuinely, Connor, and look, even for legal reasons, this is a joke. But if I was brought into the office full time, I would quit in the morning.
I think I would too. Legal reasons, that's not true. But
it's all a bit. It's all a character.
It's all a bit of a gag, guys. Come on. But we've seen the light. You know what I mean? We both started our new job during the pandemic.
Yeah.
So like 3 years ago now.
Yeah, and for 3 years they've been saying, oh, you're effective at your job working from home. And I'm like, cool, you can't go back on that.
Good job. Do I have a Google Meet meeting until 12? No. Grand. I'm going to do nothing in the bed. Do my work quietly on emails.
Yeah, going to tip away at stuff. And most importantly, and I can't stress this enough, it's all going to get done.
Shaun, I don't know. I think Furniture at Work have a point here. I think we should all take a look at this image of Anna, and this could be you.
It's also that's not going to happen to someone in 80 years. First of all, your skin isn't going to change purple, and your arms aren't going to atrophy more than the rest of the muscles in your body.
No, well, I assume the people who are still 20 will still look about 20. They're not going to be born looking like that in 2100.
But if I imagine it's an AI generated picture that they've used here, and they would put in long-term effects of working from home, bracket with poor posture, close bracket. Did
you see the new thing for the AI, by the way? I didn't go further into this in much detail, so I'm not going to use it as a story. But apparently, the AI art is now copying off other AI art, and it's fucking up their systems.
It's like a weird fucking echo chamber that they have going, and it's like less effective. By less effective, I mean it's stealing itself rather than stealing actual artists' work.
Yeah, which makes no sense.
Did you see as well that The Secret Invasion, the Marvel show, uses AI-generated images in its title cards?
Yeah, but to be fair, they're in the dogs as it is. Like they're dying. Weirdly, I'm happier with what Sony have done with Spider-Man lately than what Marvel have done. It's mad. We have to talk about movie monthlies. There's a Kraven the Hunter trailer that we will cover next time, because Shaun loves Kraven. I know that, but
I do love the character of Kraven the Hunter as he's generally portrayed in Marvel Comics. Let me tell you that much.
Are you saying I'm only doing stories once again to irk you and maybe get a rise out of you?
I mean, it wouldn't be like you, Connor, but maybe you'll mix it up this month.
Besties.
Who knows?
I would never do that to you. So, Shaun, we're moving on as gas station clerk. This is actually, I seen this story, and it's something that we've talked about a lot. I'm going to just ask you a question, Shaun. If you worked in a bank or a shop, what time of day do you want a robbery to happen?
As early in the morning as possible, as close to the start of my shift as can be achieved.
Why?
Because surely you get the rest of the day off if that happens.
Gas station clerk asks friend to rob the store so he can go home early.
My man, I have been right there with you, let me tell you.
Tulsa, Oklahoma. A gas station employee in Tulsa is accused of asking a friend to find somebody else to rob the store so he could go home early. According to the police department, the investigation began when the employee, Isaiah Jones, reported that a man walked into the store and handed him a note that read, "Give me all your money or I will shoot you." Jones complied and the suspect left with cash. Good.
Easy. A victimless crime.
Other than Isaiah's.
Well, but Isaiah's is in on it, surely.
Well, they don't know he's in on it.
What if there was a terrible... What if there was a terrible coincidence that he happened to be robbed for real?
Oh, and the fake robber was outside and he was 5 minutes late. Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Take all my money. Look, I will shoot you in the fucking head, man. Just give it. Oh, no. Ooh.
He's playing a lot. He's winking really hard at the dude.
I will kill you and your whole family. Yeah. Okay, all right.
Yeah, here's my address. So
investigators later identified Stephen Jones, who was no relation to Isaiah Jones, as the suspect and arrested him. However, police said there was more to the story than what appeared. Fairly potatoes and rice. Plain old story.
Sorry, sorry, so we're delving into that for a second.
Start a new phrase.
Fairly potatoes and rice.
Yeah, I'm starting a new phrase. Because think of the blandest food. Potatoes, rice, easy.
Potatoes there's a lot of variety in a potato, Connor.
No, but I'm talking boiled. I'm just talking boiled, no seasoning. And rice, just plain.
Okay, if you had to have one of those two, which would you pick?
Rice.
Really? I'd be on potatoes straight away.
But like plain ones.
I prefer plain potatoes to plain rice, I think. Because you get a bigger chunk with a potato, is my idea. If I had to eat one of them,
of course you're going to say that. Where do we live?
In the moment, Connor.
So apparently there's more to the stories. Potato and rice. I think I was meant to say meat and potatoes, but I didn't, and I said potatoes and rice. But let's just go with that, okay?
I mean, which as a like meal, fucking fair play to your lower intestine at that point.
Powering through.
Just doing the work.
Oh, lads. Stephen Jones confessed to the robbery. He said, I did the robbery due to the fact that they caught him when he had a load of cash on him, and then they arrested him. But he said, look, I did it. But he and his friend Aaliyah Locke set up the crime because Isaiah Jones had asked her if someone could rob the store so he could leave work early as he had a party that night.
Sure. Did he ask to leave before this happened? Or did he just think, no, there's no way I'll get this approved?
Maybe he had a bit of a dickhead of a boss, you know what I mean? Maybe the boss is like not giving anybody time off early.
But okay, so then why in the robbery did he give him the money? Like, if you're scripting a robbery, you can just say that, like, oh, I talked him down, I made him leave, but I'm still pretty shook up. Is it okay if I go home for the day?
Or one step further, you fake a fist fight in which you get hit, but you fight off the robber and he gets out. Oh man, my head is a bit sore. Better go home, I might have a concussion.
Yeah, because at that point you've already gone above and beyond. So the fact that you leave a bit early, that's not going to be questioned. Your loyalty to the Circle K is proven at that point.
So apparently he asked Isaiah asked Aliyah, I suppose, could she find someone to rob the store, because in her own words, he was tired and he wanted to go home to get ready, but he was tired, like he did want to go home. But look, I feel that. Sometimes I'm tired. Sometimes I'm not having a good day and I get a bit sleepy. And I want to go home. And I don't have anyone to rob any stores, but you know what? What a great idea.
I suppose since I do work from home, as we've established, it'd be more like breaking and entering at that point.
What I want you to do is break and enter into my home.
Just like you're on the phone with your manager and like a big cane comes from off screen and pulls you by the neck out of frame.
Yeah, everything's going great. Everything is going absolutely perfect. Like, there's literally nothing wrong. I'm here to work all afternoon, boss. Don't you worry. Oh no, he's got a knife.
You hear like a cap gun fire in the background, and then you leave your camera on and you go full John Wick because you've written yourself as the hero.
Fight them off. And then you're like, oh my god, I'm so terrified. And then they say, well, would you like the afternoon off? And I say, yes, I'd love to have a nap. Thank you.
You turn to the camera and you're just like, as you can see, I've just been through a lot.
You catch a punch on camera and you're like, look, we're all having a bad day. I'll be with you in a minute.
It's like a really interestingly shot dynamic fight scene that you've choreographed.
Oh, I'm talking, we bring in Keanu Reeves. I think we go all in. I think I fight John Wick and win somehow.
It's like the Irish version of The Raid is what's going to happen.
Yeah. You're trying to think of an Irish word for raid now. It's just...
Raja, probably.
Raja, probably. So Stephen Jones has been charged with conspiracy to commit embezzlement. And
it is a conspiracy, to be fair. They have conspired.
Technically, they have conspired. Literally... That is what they have done. They have conspired together to commit embezzlement. But I don't know if
all laws are made up.
Was he going to get the money back?
He'd have to give the money. Do you give the money back, or is it awarded back to you by the court? What happens there?
I don't know. I don't like the idea that if they accidentally put $1 million in my bank account, I'm not allowed to spend that $1 million, because you commit an upsy daisy, I should get the money.
Yeah, oh, totally. Yeah, if you're the one that fucks up, I'm getting paid still.
Like, if I do my taxes wrong, I gotta pay you. So surely if you do your money wrong and you pay me, then I mean, I feel like it's only fair.
Yeah, I feel I've put in my side of the bargain here. So where's my little paycheck coming from?
That's my one gripe. That's my unpopular opinion. But I feel like they accidentally...
Am I the asshole? I just robbed someone.
If they put $1 million in my bank account... Technically, that's mine. Okay.
This is like, because you know, if you get a genie, right, and you wish for money, like if you wish for enough money, you can fuck up the world's economy. So the ideal thing is to wish for money from someone else's account that probably won't notice it.
Yeah, you'd want like $1 billion from Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, exactly, or like 500 million from Bono. Or something like that. Someone who deserves it, you know?
He's like, they took my tax money. I've been saving that.
Also, in terms of the Irish word for raid, by the way, there's two versions of it. So one is the attack type of, you know, the noun to attack, and that's ruher. or the word for robbery, which is rub all. So there you go. We've all learned something today. Rub all. On rub all. That'd be the Irish version of the raid.
And it'd be good. It'd be good. It would just be a load of lads going, now lad, but you can't down. Lads.
Stall the ball there for a second.
See that ball? Put it on fucking stall, right? Stall that now. Don't be attacking.
Have you seen The Gentleman, by the way? It's a
movie.
No,
I haven't.
Colin Farrell's in it, and it's a lot of English like gangsters, but Colin Farrell is the leader, and he's very Irish in it, and he's fucking fantastic. You would love it.
I just want pure Irish slang that nobody else understands.
Yeah, literally. It's not Irish slang, but it's very Irish, like, just calm the fuck down, will you?
Like,
will you stop
I want
for
a
a second?
situation where, like, you know, you had the Cockney rhyming slang in Across the Universe, Across the Spider-Verse with, like, Hobie Browne, and it was, like, bringing up the translations out the bottom. I want that, but in a version of, like, all of the Irish phrases that we are not allowed to use on this show because we have international listeners, that they will not understand what the fuck we are saying. But if I said to you, you would understand what I was saying.
100%. And yeah, like, we already pushed the boundary as it is, but we could go a lot further some days.
Like, I could call so many people gowls.
And it just wouldn't translate, folks.
It wouldn't work.
But again, and I can't stress this enough, if you're someone living abroad and you have an Irish friend, and they maybe haven't been home in a couple of months to a couple of years, call them a gowl out of the blue, and they won't expect it, and they won't know how to respond. And
if they say something is good, we taught this to one of the Dutch guys at our work. If they say something is good, you say that's pure rapid. Oh, that is pure rapid.
If something is embarrassing, you say, I'm scarlet for you.
I'm scarlet for you.
You can't say the T in scarlet.
I'm
scarlet for you.
Scarlet for you.
Just drop all Shaun, T's, actually, and that's all you need.
No T's, and you've probably noticed from the way I speak, you have a little more T than I do, but I don't have any.
It's very conscious that I added in at this point.
Shaun, we're going to move on to our next piece of news, and this is a story that, like, I just could not get my head around, but it has now been solved in federal court. So,
good.
Pretty high up.
I'm glad.
Pretty high up. But employee testifies restaurants offered priest to extract confessions of workplace sins to people in the workplace.
What kind of workplace sins are we talking about?
So this workplace, this restaurant, told all of its employees that it was bringing a priest in just to do a general, like, you confess your sins. Confessions during work hours.
Okay. That seems like an odd thing to just bring in.
First of all, odd. But secondly, I suppose if you're religious and your whole workforce is very religious, maybe the thing is like, this would be kind of cool. We'll bring this in and you can all say your confessions during work hours and everyone's happy. And maybe the owner is very religious and they believe in this. And so that's what they did. The employees then told the court that the priest urged workers to get the sins out to him and asked employees if they had stolen from the employer, ever been late for work, had done anything to harm their employer, or if they had bad tensions towards their employers.
So, if you don't answer this, is the implication that you're going to hell?
So the idea, so the options are you either confess, right?
Or lie to a priest.
Or lie to a priest and go to hell. That was the option that was put in front of them. And this workplace, this restaurant, which I can only assume takes itself so seriously. So I love the plotting, right? So they're sitting around, the owners, and they're like, I feel like people are plotting against us. They're scheming. They want to take this place down. I don't know if fucking Joanne working the dishes, I don't know if she's saying nice things about me. Maybe she's a fucking bitch. Maybe she thinks I'm a bastard. I don't know.
We need to make sure she would die for this restaurant.
I genuinely want to see her fail. Now, she works for me. Right? But if she's saying mean things, I can't handle that. And so, who's the one person that these people will trust? I think in my head they ran through multiple other people. Like they brought in like a firefighter. Like they they'll trust a firefighter. And everyone's like, no,
Police?
I wouldn't do that.
They probably can't get involved in this legally.
Exactly. So then you bring like a Boy Scout leader. Like you couldn't like they're so nice. A charity owner, someone who like has set up a charity to help people who are really sick. You couldn't lie to them. All them
a
failed.
dog. Any regular dog.
Golden retriever that just has a whiteboard and says, do you want to kill your bosses? But Shaun, the thing is, they didn't tell any of those people. So eventually, you got to go to the big guns, to the big man above. And they're not going to lie to him. So let's bring the priest in, and he'll be able to get the sins out, as they say, and then we'll know if they're scheming against us, and we can fire the ones that don't like us.
But if they already did the bad thing, then they're already cool with the big man knowing that was done, surely.
No, because the confession is, if they'd ever stolen from the employer, been late for work, had done anything that harmed their employer, or if they had bad intentions towards the employer.
Okay, but as soon as you confess that, you're getting fired. Surely.
Yes, I think they're the options, yes. But a confession is meant to be, like, private.
It's meant to be, but if the company is bringing the priest in, all fucking bets are off. Like, what's happening there?
So they also learned the employer paid managers from the employee tip pool illegally, threatened employees with retaliation and adverse immigrant consequences for cooperating with the legal stuff with the department, and fired one worker who they believed had complained to the priest about them.
This employer is dog shit, first of all. Fuck them.
Under oath, an employee of the store explained how the restaurant offered a supposed priest to hear their workplace sins, while other employees reported that a manager falsely claimed that there was issues with immigration that would be raised to the department's investigation if this ever got any further. So they had to pay back 70 grand in back wages and an equal amount in liquidated damages. The judge also ordered the restaurant and its owners to pay the department a further 5 grand in civil money, just for lying to them. So they had to pay a lot of money. But Shaun, I've never heard of this level of shit. Like, this is more than shithousery. This is
actively like, this is guilt tripping people, and like, this is actual like abuse. First of all,
second hire a priest to come in.
Don't hire a priest at all. They shouldn't be hireable. You can't pay a priest. That's not the rule.
He shouldn't be on a payroll.
He's got it all sorted out up above. Don't worry about it. It's fucking. Yeah. Also, we grew up in like Catholic schools and stuff like that. We had a first confession, is what you do, and you're like, what, like, it's before your communion, I think you do it.
Probably like 8, 7.
You're 8 and you go in and tell all your sins to this priest. And I couldn't think of anything because I have the memory of a goldfish at the best of times. I just made stuff up on the day, which I'm pretty sure is a sin to lie to a priest.
I murdered somebody. I have burned people to death as well. And I laughed when it happened.
And then we did our confession, and then we got jelly babies after it. And I'm like, this is a weird reinforcement.
That's a weird combo.
Yeah. The old 1-2 punch of Catholic guilt and sweet, sweet sugar.
Like, you're no longer going to hell. Here's some jelly babies. Pretty good.
And I will say, look, and I don't mean that by this, they were off-brand jelly babies as well. Oh, we all know the kinds that they are. The big man
wouldn't even fund the fucking Haribo.
Wouldn't even fork out for the Haribo.
No. Well, that's because they weren't being funded by a restaurant. There's no pay in that.
That's true. There's no money in active confessions of 8-year-olds. No. It's all in the streets.
What was the strangest confirmation name that your school had?
Oh man, I'm trying to think. I took Kevin as my confirmation name.
It's basic.
It is pretty basic.
By the way, I'm going to just tell you now something that's going to freak you out, but I also took Kevin as my confirmation name.
Fuck off. Any particular reason?
No.
Are you sure? Was there a reason at all?
The only reason was that I had a friend called Kevin. And I was like,
I also had a friend called Kevin, and that's what
yes.
Amazing.
Yes.
No, there was
one brain.
One single brain cell shared between the two of us. No, a friend of mine took the name Blaze for the confirmation.
That's cool.
It's pretty cool. So he was a singer, and Blaze is like this patron saint of like throat healing. Like,
well, my friend Kevin took Ignatius. That was his one.
Ignatius is fucking good.
Yeah, he took Ignatius. So you just get to pick whatever the fuck name you want, but it has to be a saint. But like Saint Ignatius, I mean, clearly a legend.
Yeah, we went basic with picking Saint Kevin, to be fair. But there's all kinds of crazy saints out there, like that you could just
you could
like
pick
rattle
saint anything.
Names of saints. Let's do this, because you could also I think you could take John or John the Baptist as a saint name.
The full one. Yeah, so I would be Conor John the Baptist.
Yeah, Conor John the Baptist Lawler. See, a lot of them are. A lot of them are fairly. No, because there's like Andrew the Apostle, Agnes of Rome, Ambrose. That's a good one.
Ooh, Ambrose.
Shaun Ambrose Meehan. Imagine that.
That's pretty good. That's actually pretty good.
It's one of the better ones. Agatha, Jerome, Augustine, Bartholomew. Like I don't want to pay to look at a list of saints. What are we doing here?
Sorry, what is with the church?
Xavier.
Xavier's pretty good. That's pretty good now. Yay. But you'd have to have some sort of mind powers to get called Xavier.
You need to be the leader of a little group of outcasts. Mesrop, Vardan. These are Power Rangers villains, I'm fairly sure.
I have heard of these in the Power Rangers show, yeah.
Ludmilla, Wenceslas, the good King Wenceslas.
So it's Shaun Wenceslas Meehan.
Yeah. SWM, boy. Canute, Saint Canute.
What do you go down the river on? Canute? No, canoe.
No, you've misspoke. Don't say the T. Imagine it's an Irish accent. Macarius, Diosaurus, Paul of Thebes.
So you could be called Conor Paul of Thebes.
I imagine, yeah. Like, because there's a different St. Paul, so...
Technically, they couldn't take that away from me. The priest would have to say, you're Conor Paul of Thieves. And I would say, yes.
I'm trying to remember the ceremony. The priest doesn't say your name out loud. You just tell him, isn't that it?
I can't remember. I was like 11.
What if I went up and I was like, Shaun, Billy Joe Armstrong, me, and like, what would have happened then?
He'd break your heart.
Cuthbert, that's another good one.
Cuthbert, that's pretty good. Billy Joe, I think you just go all in. And to be fair, American Idiot would be around that time. You probably would have been perfectly suited.
I probably looked like I listened to it at the time.
Which
is like, it says a lot about me.
So I would be like Conor. I would be Conor Evanescence. Lol. Conor, take me to life. Lawler, thanks very much.
I'd be Conor. I'd be Shaun Pete Wentz Meehan, please.
Yeah, you'd be Patrick Stump Meehan. Yeah. Full name. Full name. Like first. I'm taking full name, priest. Sorry about that.
It'd be Shaun Patrick Stump, open bracket, lead singer of Fall Out Boy, close
good
bracket.
One. Good. Or no, under the
under the cork tree.
No, you would pick one of the really long title names.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Shaun. This ain't a scene. This is a goddamn arms race. That's actually me.
That's my saint name.
That's my saint. You can call me Scene.
Dude, we could have done Saint Jimmy.
Oh my god.
I need to get reconfirmed.
If I would
right
know,
the fuck
Saint
now.
Jimmy is track 6 on American Idiot, the 2004 Green Day album. And it has that lead at 1, 2, 3, 4. That is
basically the best thing that's ever happened to music.
Just listen to the first 30 seconds. You can move on with your life after that.
But then, if you decide to stick with it, you have a great fucking 8 minutes ahead of you. My God.
Then you go to number 9. You got Wake Me Up in September Ends. You're laughing, so yeah.
Tears every time. Watch the video for Wake Me Up from When September Ends. It's absolutely heartbreaking, folks.
We only have one reference, one cultural reference, and it's the 2004 American Idiot album.
Again, same brain. Like, we can't get away from this.
And Evanescence.
Oh man,
the first 2 albums I owned, other than Hot Fuss by The Killers. That's a strong threesome.
That's fair. No, I remember I got my first album I ever bought I think might have been American Idiot that I bought with my own money.
With your pennies.
With my pennies that I scraped together from my work as a little orphan boy. And then...
No, from the insurance of the car accident.
Of course. And then HMV started doing 3 for 10, so it was non-stop from there.
Pretty good. Shaun, I don't know. I think that might be it for this week's Weird News. I
think we'll wrap it up on a bit of Catholic
I think we can wrap it up. We just have a very weird niche of albums. What's your favourite Fall Out Boy song, Shaun?
My favourite 27, I would say, from Fall Out Boy.
Good. I'm gonna go Alpha Dog.
I knew it was that. I think you've said it to me before that it was
Alpha Dog. And
it's a good song.
I throw that out there. When I throw that out there, Fall Out Boy fans are like, oh, okay, that's good.
Right, this guy's all right, let him in.
He's good. And I know nothing else. I'm like, that's it. Like, I know other songs, but I'm just like, I know that's the one that you want to throw out. Like, you can do all the basic ones. There's no need.
Yeah, you can hit your thanks for the memories and stuff like that. That's absolutely fine.
Doesn't matter.
An Alpha Dog thrown in at the end. My God.
We should have a music episode where it's just the world's worst music that only me and you like.
Genuinely, it would both of us just be naming songs and being like, oh yeah, I really like that. That's really good.
From 2007. It was really good.
There's a hard fucking cut once 2010 hits.
Yeah. Shaun, so I think that's it for this week's Weird News. Would you like to take us out?
Yes, thank you everyone for listening to this episode of Weird News Wednesday. We will be back on Friday with Hero or Zero, Wednesday with Weird News Wednesday, and we'll have other episodes peppered in between across various platforms. One of those platforms being our Patreon. That's patreon.com/Heroes for Hire podcast. Link to that is in the description, and thank you to everyone who supports us over there, especially to Róisín the wife Palmer, Joe Burney, Ryan Komatsu, Dozer Enthusiast Evanson, Waffles loves you and is hoping you have a good day, David Clarke, Shaun Chuck in the wash and it'll be grand Jamieson, Dominic, Anna Irish Walrus forever Hjelmroos, Danny McLaughlin, Luke Darth, Lordsmish, Michelle Browne, Michaela Doughty, Frost, Buster, Ed Ball, Conor, it still trips me up. Conor and Lorraine have struck again when Shaun least expected. Russ still nodding along sagely at Shaun's pollen-fueled, rage-filled "You're a Cunt" aimed at the child farmer-Parfitt. Jackson Brueheim, Liz had a few too many on St. Paddy's Day and tipsily subscribed to the Patreon, and Ciara Lawler. Thank you, all of those wonderful people, for continuing to support the show. We really do appreciate it, and it helps us to keep the show coming every single week and every single month and every single year and all the rest of it. If you want to head over there, the link is in the description. There is also the merch store, heroesforhire.ie/shop. Twitter is @heroesforhirepod. The 4 is the number 4. Facebook is Detective Divilment's discussion group. Instagram is Heroes for Hire podcast. And the best way to ever help out the show is to tell one human being that we exist.
Just the one, please.
And I think that's about it, Conor.
I think so. So I've been Conor Lawler.
And I have been Shaun Kevin Meehan.
See you all next week, guys.
Bye.
Bye.